Good evening, every one of you. Setting a proper motivation, which consists of 3 parts. Now that we already have some meditation instructions and experience from the last 2 days. Let's sit up properly. And setting proper motivation, which consists of 3 parts. 1, refuge field. Number 2, Bodhicitta field. Number 3, the purpose of the practice. For the refuge field, the first one, visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the enlightened beings in front of you. And how you visualize them. Imagine that they are like your very affectionate parents, and you imagine you come home demoralized, being bullied by elder children in the school, and your parents are waiting there to give full love, affection, attention, and so forth. Next, Bodhicitta field. Visualize your 2 parents on the 2 sides, and all of family members, all your dear mothers and all dear mothers and everyone, whether human beings, animals, insects, cats, dogs, whatever, all beings who wish for happiness and who share miseries. Imagine all of them in Bangalore, all of them from the world, all of them from the Milky Way galaxy, and all of them from the universe, entire universe. And how you visualize them. Here you are the mother, and all others are like your children. And imagine they come home demoralized, and you are there to give full love, affection, attention, so forth. To the extent that each one of them feels themselves as so special in your eyes. And the purpose of this class, as we did the last 2 days, is to awaken this ultimate source of happiness that exists within each one of us, every one of us, whether you're a Buddhist, whether you are Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Jains, it doesn't matter, whether you may be a non-believer, everyone has that potential to become and to achieve the final happiness. In other words, everyone has that treasure, ultimate treasure of happiness. It exists within each one of us. So that while such potential exists within us, the fact that we are unhappy, the fact that we don't experience happiness is because this potential is obscured by the mental defilements. For example, the gold when mixed with the soil, in the eyes of the ordinary people, you don't see the gold there, you just see the soil. But in the eyes of the experts, they will see gold there. So how the experts convince us of the presence of the gold there is by separating the soil from the gold. As the gold is separated more and more, as the soil is separated more and more from this gold, the gold starts to glow. So, likewise, as the mental defilements are separated, then the true nature, ultimate source of happiness, the diamond-like, the treasure within us will start to glow. Okay, so that's the purpose. The purpose is to eliminate the mental defilements from the true nature of the perfection, true nature of the happiness within us. And knowing that these defilements, finally, they're rooted to what is known as ignorance. Rooted to ignorance, in dark. You don't know what is around you. Likewise, with ignorance, you don't know the reality. So because of the absence of the knowledge of the reality, then we tend to go into miseries all the time. And if we don't want to experience the miseries, the first thing that we need to do is to eliminate the final cause of the miseries, which is the ignorance. And the ignorance can best be eliminated, as we learned yesterday, best be eliminated by introducing the light of the wisdom. So this light of the wisdom, by the very definition, is the mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. So for that, we need to know the reality very precisely. That's the job. For now, in order to know the reality, which is the objective, right? And in order to make the turbulence, the waves, the very ferocious waves of the ocean to subside, a mind which is like the ocean, and the waves, very ferocious waves coming on a mind which is like the negative emotions. In order for them to subside, we need to engage in a very special technique of the stilling our mind by seeing the true nature of the mind, the practice of the awareness and awareness, which is also referred to as the Mahamudra practice. So there is a purpose. And this method must be finally resorted to by the motivation of one, renunciation, then number two, great compassion, bodhicitta for others. Okay, with that in mind, imagine that you are leading this and all other sentient beings are happily joining you in order for us to pursue through this journey of gate, paragate, parasamadhi, bodhisattva towards ultimate happiness. Okay, let's turn to page 3, and you are leading this and everyone is joining you. Page 3. If you have some extra of these prayer books. Okay, others, see if you can share. Okay. On page 3. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha of Dharma, I pay homage. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no rising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the Supreme Mama, all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the Buddhas, mothers of the Buddhas and of the hearers and Bodhisattvas, who through the knowledge of all these hearers seeking pacification, complete peace, who through the knowledge of past causes was having migrated to achieve the aims of the world, and through possession of omniscience, the subduer set forth the varieties and more aspects. Okay, for the next page for the mantra. The mantra, I'm quickly going to give the explanation of this mantra. This mantra is very precious, extremely precious, and should you encounter with a situation where your, say, the family members are sick, your neighbors are sick, your friends are sick, or they go through very difficult tragedies, situations, then in order to curb the obstacles, potential dangers and so forth, and this, if you recite this mantra, this will be a tremendous benefit to help yourself and help others. So the meaning of the mantra, to quickly, and when you recite the mantra, first of all we need to know the mantra. After knowing the mantra, we need to know the meaning of the mantra. If possible, word to word, we need to know the mantra. Once you know the meaning of the mantra, then as you recite the mantra with the meanings well reflected, and the benefit is going to be thousandfold more. So with that in mind, the mantra which reads Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava. Om symbolizes your body, speech and mind, and the body, speech and mind of the enlightened being, saying that I should transform my body, speech and mind into the body, speech and mind of the enlightened being. The next question, how do I do that? It says, Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava. Ye Dharma, these phenomena, particularly the phenomena of the miseries, they don't arise randomly, they don't arise causelessly. They arise by dependence causes. Om Ye Dharma, these phenomena, Hetu means causes, Prabhava departments arise. These miseries, the phenomena of miseries, the dharma of the miseries, they arise from the hetu, they arise from the causes. Next, hetum deshan tathagato hyavata. Hetum is again the causes, the plural form of causes. Desham, these causes of the miseries. Tathagato, Tathagato means the enlightened one, the Buddha. Tathagato, hyavata. Hyavata means to teach, to tell, to inform, to say. So what the causes of these miseries are is said by the Tathagata, is said by the Buddha. Tathagata, hyavata. Desham jayo nirodha. Desham, again these, desham, jayo, the plural form, desham jayo, nirodha. Nirodha means the cessation, coming to an end of the causes of the miseries. Nirodha means the cessation, coming to an end of the cause of the miseries. Desham jayo nirodha. Evam, evam means thus. Vadi is said or taught. Evam vadi, mahashramana. Maha means great. Shramana is the seer, the sane. Mahashramana, yeswaha. Yeswaha is established. So what it says is that these phenomena of the miseries arise from their causes, and what these causes are is indicated or taught by the Tathagata. And how to bring an end to these causes of the miseries, is also taught by the great seer. So this is meaning. So first we'll read the meaning of the mantra in the stanza form, which is given there, and then we'll recite the mantra 3 times together. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. Now let's recite the mantra together. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum desham tathagato hyavatat desham jayo nirodha evamadi mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum desham tathagato hyavatat desham jayo nirodha evamadi mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum desham tathagato hyavatat desham jayo nirodha evamvati mahashramanaye swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of causes as well is taught by the great seer. So this mantra, the essence of which is what is being said in this mantra is that we are bound to go through miseries, pains, anxieties and so forth, but we are not to give up, because there is a solution, there's a way out. There's a way out. Once you know what are the causes of these miseries, once you know the causes of the miseries, then why not we look for ways and means to eradicate the causes. You eradicate the causes and the miseries will ultimately come to an end. For example, say if in a house there is always, the house becomes always wet. There's the wet for no reason. There's it becoming wet, and the wetness of the house is very harmful to one's body. The arthritis, asthma, and so forth coming, and then you don't know how to get rid of this problem. And the problem is something which is so pertinent, and it's because of the moisture there, and you don't know how to get rid of the moisture. You try to wipe the moisture, again tomorrow it comes back, again you wipe it. It's just pointless. If somebody is very smart, the person will look for a plumber. Plumber? Okay, we say plumber, right? So I think Okay, Chandela, Chandela, two Chandelas. Tell me what is the over there. Tell me, hey, English professors, you tell me what is the exact pronunciation? Plumber or plumber?
Plumber.
Huh?
Plumber.
Plumber. Very good. Okay, many people say plumber. Okay, let's say plumber. Anyway, this is not my job to teach English. My job is to share with you dharma, right? It's okay. Say a wise person will look for a plumber. Plumber, to see why this, where is this moisture is coming, where this the wetness is coming from, where? Because it's not the monsoon, right? It's not monsoon. Where this moisture is coming from? So the plumber will, once a plumber will track that there's a leakage in the pipe, which is inside the wall. Once that is tracked, you fix it, and the moisture will come to an end, and your asthma problem will disappear, right? So a wise person will, first of all, before trying to just go for the symptomatic treatment to remove the problems, they will look for the final cause of the problem and then rectify that. And then you don't have to wipe the house anymore. Automatically it becomes dry and clean. Okay, so this should be the approach. So the point is that when we go through miseries, loss of near and dear ones, the acute pain that we go through, and then the kind of illness that one goes through, and then all these unfortunate things can happen. So there, don't give up. There's a solution. What's the solution? Before you go for the solution, first of all try to check the root cause. What's the root cause of these problems? Check the root cause. And then this mantra is saying that this root cause can be traceable. Once you are able to track the root cause of these miseries, you can bring an end to the root cause, and the miseries will automatically come to an end. Say the poisonous tree growing there, and the wind blowing from the poisonous leaves, creating rashes, skin rashes on the body, and you try to remove the leaves, there's no point. A sensible person will cut the root, and however millions of poisonous leaves they may be growing on the tree, they will all dry automatically, and your skin rashes will come to an end. So this is the message from this mantra, that don't give up when you go through miseries. Look for the cause of the miseries and just terminate, bring an end to the cause of miseries, and your miseries will come to an end. So this is the message. This is so profound message, and anyone who is sensible will see this as so profound and so meaningful for us. Okay, so this is what we need to keep in mind. Let's turn to page 4 on the refuge in genuine bodhicitta. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulation to the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulation to the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Okay, let us turn to page 9, Heart Sutra Mantra. Again, this mantra, as we already explained earlier, I'm not going to go into the detail of this explanation. On this mantra is so precious, again, it's so precious. So if you really love your family members, if you really love your parents, if you really love your children, if you really love your family members, then this mantra, when you recite this mantra, is so precious. And see if you can recite this mantra like 3 times a day, 7 times a day. And when you go for your job, when you go for your work, say in the metro, in whatever the vehicle that you use, see if you can, in the air while traveling, if you can recite this mantra not only for yourself, but for all of those in the metro, in the city, in the entire universe. If you can say this would amazingly say sanctifying a mantra which can benefit all other people. Okay, with that in mind, let's recite this. And of course the meaning I've already explained to you the last 2 days. We recite this wholeheartedly. When you say this, imagine that the very compassionate, enlightened Buddha Shakyamuni, he is just like a mother telling the child, a sick child, telling that don't remain in the fears of samsara, don't remain in the fears of anxiety, stress, tension. Come out of this, come towards the ultimate happiness. And you hearing this melodious voice of Buddha Shakyamuni, then you inspire your parents, family members, and everyone, informing them that this is what our very compassionate teacher Buddha Shakyamuni is telling us. Let us not remain, what should we remain in the fears of samsara? Let us not remain in the fears of samsara. Let us all go together towards enlightenment, towards ultimate happiness, where misery is unheard of. So with that in mind, you are leading this, and all other sentient beings, your family members, everyone is happily joining you. Training, page 11. The 8 verse of mind training, as most you already know, this is primarily this is a very effective mental transformation method employed, and the mental transformation means that first of all, don't begin by saying that I have to do dharma, I have to help others. Let us not begin from there. If you begin from there, it's very superficial, because some people could be gifted. 99% of the people, we have deep inside, of course we all have the desire for happiness, and we have the desire to shun miseries. This is a fact. We have to begin from there. Don't begin from something, the superficial thoughts. So begin from this place where that finally what I want is, I want happiness, what I don't want is miseries. Now knowing this, the happiness that we seek, it is a mental state. The miseries that we shun is also the mental state. So the happiness that we seek, which is the mental state, it is all rooted to what is known as the self-confidence. And the miseries which we shun, they are all rooted to what is known as the ego. So we need to make a distinction between the self-confidence and the ego. Oftentimes we see these two things as same. Self-confidence and ego. Ordinary people, they will see these two things as same, and on this basis, when we see that, oh, that person is very self-confident, we might be saying something else. We might be saying that this person is egoistic. And when we say that that person does not have ego, we might be implying that this person does not have self-confidence. So this is the the kind of the dilemma. The two things, we equate the two things now with the study of Dharma, with the study of the Mahamudra practice, with the study of the emptiness, bodhicitta and so forth. And for someone who is so wise, so sensible in looking for happiness and shunning miseries, first thing that they need to learn is how to distinguish the two things. Ego, self-referential ego, and self-confidence. We have to distinguish the two things. After distinguishing two things, then we have to see how to subdue the self-referential ego and boost the self-confidence. Oftentimes, people have a total misunderstanding. Oh, Buddhism. Buddhism means is the self-denial. It's a self-denial. Okay, so we don't go for good food, we don't go for good house, good cars. So this is all to be rejected according to Buddhism. This is not true. In the first place, when we embrace Buddhism, how did we come? Did we come with the thought that I have extra cars, I have so many houses, I have so many cars, I have so many good foods, I don't know how to discard them. Please show us something, teach me how to remove these good things. We did not come like this. We did not come. We all somehow come to Choe or any Buddhist center that I have some problems. I don't want to go through these problems anymore. Please teach me how to get into my problems. So this is how we come. And then this Dharma should have the capacity to actually remove your problems, not to add to the problems. If you add to the problems, then you don't need Dharma, right? And this is not how we come to the Dharma in the first place. Oh, I have happiness, please teach me how to get miseries. This is not how we came to Dharma. So Dharma should be a system which helps us to remove our miseries, right? So renunciation doesn't mean to renounce a good food, doesn't mean to renounce a good house, doesn't mean to renounce your good cars. This is not a connotation. Some people, they think that they say, particularly becoming interested in Dharma, and then at one point they buy a new car, and then they feel a little uncomfortable. Oh, I'm into Dharma, and still I have attachment. Oh, I buy the car. There's no contradiction there. We did not come to Dharma to discard our new cars. Right? To discard our new cars, we don't need Dharma. It's very simple. Give it to someone. No Dharma is required. Right? So the point is, Dharma means, how did we come to the Dharma in the first place? Just don't forget this. So there, we came to the Dharma that I have a problem. So teach me how to get rid of this problem. So any system that teaches you to remove your problems more and more, to give you more and more happiness, that is Dharma. So therefore renunciation, it doesn't mean to renounce your good house, good cars, good food and so forth. This is not a connotation. Renunciation means to renounce your miseries. Don't forget this. To renounce your miseries. That is a renunciation. Then keep in mind, this is so important. Say, somebody has a tumor inside, and then say, okay, I have this problem, I have this headache, the pain, and so forth. So please do something. Then the doctor diagnosed a tumor inside, and the doctor said, okay, you have to go through surgery. Surgery means you have to remain hungry for one day, right? Okay, so there, at times, as a measure of treatment, there may be times where you have to let go of, for example, when you surgery, then whole day you should remain hungry, right? Even though, let's say, you have very good food there waiting, birthday cake waiting there, but you cannot enjoy them for that day. But it doesn't mean that you have to get rid of this altogether. There's no connotation. At times, when you go through the surgery processes, there we might have to, say, get rid of these problems, get rid of these things once in a while. Otherwise, There's no contradiction to have good food, good house, good cars, and so forth with engaging in dharmas. You are right? Now with the dharma, what is discouraged is attachment to these things, attachment to good things. Attachment to good things, that creates problems on you. If the attachment to good things, if they don't create problems on you, if it creates more happiness on you, go for it. Whereas, why did you come to Dharma? Is because that I have a problem. So Dharma is to help you to remove the problems. So what is the real problem? Is not the objects per se. Objects per se is not a problem. Our attachment, our emotional reaction to the objects, this is a problem. So to change this emotional reaction, initially, as a surgery, then we might have to get rid of these things for time being. Now later on, when this, say, craving for the objects, when that is cut, then to have these things, there's nothing wrong. In fact, with this you can be of greater benefit to other beings. Okay, with this mind, renunciation means to renounce the miseries. Don't forget it. Renounce the miseries. Okay. So with this mind, we have to know that all our problems are somehow connected with the ego. Keep in mind, even though it is not your mistake, somebody else abuses you, and then you feel a little unhappy, uneasy there. Oh, this person abused me, this is not my mistake, this person, and you feel a little angry, agitated. The moment anger, agitation, unhappiness comes to you, this self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude, somehow connected with the ego, that is responsible there. So, our job is to identify that. Meanwhile, don't deny the fact that external person is also responsible. He or she is responsible. External factors are responsible. Meanwhile, like the sound of a clap, the two hands coming together, it is not only one hand, external hand, it's the internal hand also responsible. Other hand is also responsible, right? So with this, keep in mind that external hand, yes, just see how you can avoid external factors as much as you can. This is very important. Don't just say that, oh, it's just internal, and then you say that the hand, you have a broken hand, broken arms, right? Broken arms. And then you say, oh, I have to take care of myself. With the crowd is no problem. I have to take care. You go to the crowd, it will affect you. So, the point is that external factors are there, but the internal factors are there. We have to acknowledge that external factors, when the internal factor is so strong, when you find it so difficult to counter the internal factors, which is so strong at the moment, then you see how to avoid. When the fracture is so bad, you have to avoid the crowd. So you see how to avoid from the external factors. What external factors can create unease in you, being unfair, injustice, then unnecessarily abusing you, and so forth. These things happen. See how much you can refrain from these things. Then later on, as you grow stronger, right? Then you become very strong. External factors which would otherwise create unease in you can create tremendous joy in you. For example, when we are, say, what is the most delicious mango in India?
Alfonso.
Wow, Alfonso mango. Let's say we are all Alfonso mango saplings. We are all Alfonso mango saplings, right? So why people crave after Alfonso mangoes? Why? Huh? Because it's very delicious. Okay. So now you say that Alfonso, imagine each one of us, we are like Alfonso mango saplings, right? So the job of the Alfonso, if somebody cannot eat the Alfonso mango, then there's no, the Alfonso mango being good, being great, makes no sense if no one can enjoy it. Then because of this, you think that, oh, Alfonso mango is to be enjoyed by others. So then you call the cows, hey cows, come. I'm an Alfonso mango sapling, come, right? I'll help you, I'll give you Alfonso mangoes. They will eat you up, sapling is eaten up, no Alfonso mango will come out in the future. Right? So as Alfonso mango sapling, what should you do? Don't call the cows, stop the cows. Fence yourself. You have to fence. Don't call the cows, stop the cows. Although eventually you should help the cows, but this is not the time to help. Fence yourself. Fence. While fence, Don't remain a sapling, keep growing. Within this fence, don't remain as a sapling all the time. Keep growing, keep growing. Then, once grown to a very strong, healthy Alfonso mango tree, and then thousands of Alfonso mangoes a day, again don't stay in the fence. Remove the fence. Remove the fence, call the cows. Hey, cows, come now, right? And then give them the fruits. They cannot eat you up. They will enjoy the fruits, they will enjoy your shade, and because the cows are nearby you, and people take picture of you and the cows together, it's also so beautiful, right? So therefore, we have to know the timing. So therefore, the point is that when we speak about the external factors and the internal factors, when the internal factor is very strong, we are like an Alfonso sapling, not the Alfonso tree, right? When we are weak, an internal factor for creating problems in us, when that is strong, we are weak. We are like Alfonso mango sapling. But of course, we are not the wild mango sapling. We are Alfonso mango sapling, which means that we can become Buddhas, right? But we have to identify that we are sapling, we are not a big tree. So don't call the cows, right? So remove the external factors, the cows, keep them away. And you fence yourself. Wherever there is a good condition, try to create as good condition as possible. Stay within the good condition as possible. And as much as possible, be closer to a Choe Ling. This is a good place, right? So then what happens is that you're in the fence. Within the fence you keep growing. When you become very strong, then the external factors, the cows, can add to the beauty of your own beauty. Can add to the beauty, will not eat you up. This is so important. Once you become very strong, then the point is that you can benefit others more by being with external factors. External factors cannot affect you, can in fact aid you, can in fact give, say, nurture you further, can enrich your qualities. Okay. So with this in mind, the 8-verse mind training, which is so precious. This, whatever is being said there, it is meant to subdue our ego, not to subdue the self, not to always don't have a sense of self-hate. Always have a sense self-love. This is so precious. This self is so precious. This self will eventually become Buddha. Eventually become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. This self is so important, so precious. If you really hate someone, don't hate the self. Hate the self-referential ego, not the self. Be kind to the self. Hate the ego. Subdue the ego. Don't subdue the self. If you subdue the self, this is the greatest failure. No one can fail you. It is only you are undermining yourself and subduing yourself and self-hate. Only that can fail you. No one else can fail you. Okay, be kind to yourself and be unkind towards the self-referential ego. Okay, with that in mind, let's turn to page 11. With the determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest in the soul, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character, oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrongly with abuse, slander and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped, on whom I have placed great hopes, mistreats me in external hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all these remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 maintained concerns, and may I recognize in all things as delusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. From my 2 collections, vast the space that I have amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds with smiles blinded victories. Okay, now 5 minutes breathing meditation. 5 minutes breathing meditation. Okay, the instruction, the same instruction. Okay, the same instruction, very quickly. Okay, is the anyone who's not exposed to any form of meditation earlier? Anyone who's not exposed to any form of meditation earlier? Okay, seems like all of us, we are exposed to meditation. Now what we do is, very quickly, 4 points to keep in mind in the meditation. One is the focal point. No, one is body posture. Number 2, focal point. Number 3, identifying the errors of meditation. What is number 4? Applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Okay, number 1, body posture. Number 2, the focal point. Number 3, identifying the errors of meditation. Number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. 4 points. First, the body posture. Okay, very quick. If possible, sit cross-legged. Then the body upright. But the body should not be rigid. It should be flexible. Okay, your head tilted forward a little bit. Your head forward a little bit. Your eyes not closed. Eyes half open. 45 degrees cast down. Okay, and the tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate. To avoid excessive accumulation of saliva in the mouth. And the teeth and the lips, keep them in the natural course. Breathe naturally. Don't force your breath. Don't control your breath. Breathe naturally. Okay, this is your body posture. Number 2, focal point. What are you going to meditate on? So this is a breathing meditation. This is very helpful. You learn this, and if possible, if you can do it on a daily basis for like, say, 2 minutes, a short gap, again 2 minutes, a short gap, 2 minutes, 3 times a day would be very, very healing for us. So what we're going to meditate on is the breathing meditation with a tiny dot, 1 mm or 2 mm in diameter, between the nose and upper lip. This is what we're going to focus on. Just we focus on this tiny dot, white dot, 1 mm or 2 mm diameter between nose and upper lip. So while you focus your mind there, multitasking. Count your breath, breath in, breath out, cycle 1, breath in, breath out, cycle 2. This is how we're going to continue. For 5 minutes, or for some people, it's going to be like 108 cycles. For others, it can be 60 cycles, depending on the length of the breath. And this is what we're going to do as a focal point. Now, the errors of meditation, very quickly, mental scattering and mental laxity. These two are the 2 errors. Should any of these 2 things happen, don't freak. We have to apply the remedies. This is what is very naturally happening. So either mental scattering or mental laxity. And to avoid that, we have to go for number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. And the remedies, there are 2. What are they? Introspection and mindfulness. Okay, introspection is to keep an eye on your own mind, to see whether your mind is distracted or in a relaxed state or meditated properly. And if you see that it is distracted or in a relaxed state, then the job of the introspection is done. Next is the job of the mindfulness. The job of mindfulness is to bring the mind back to the intended object of the meditation. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay. Now about objective clear light. Objective clear light is like a continuation from what we did. This is so precious. And what I would say is like saying, for all of us here, what I would suggest is for your own benefit, see if we can. I'm going to share with you some of the ways by which to meditate on this objective clear light, the emptiness. Once you know a little bit of how to do this, and of course we can't expect that today, just within like 1 hour or 1.5 hours, you will get everything, because it requires the extensive study, reflection, meditation. So extensive study is required. And I was discussing with the Shandi Yashningji and Shandi Govindji, both of them, just before we came here. I was saying that the people in Bangalore, they are very fortunate. They are very fortunate that there's a center here. There are so many big cities like Bangalore, Kolkata, Lucknow, then Chennai, and like that. There are so many centers, and a center where people can easily step in, and which is very harmonious. It's amazing. So we are very lucky. And then there are many, say the very next to Sera Monastery, there's another additional plus point, and teachers, Venerable Rattenla, then the other teachers available, Namdala, Kishinamdala, the Laksola, then the Namjongla, and of course the Venerable the Consul Rinpoche, all these people who can, the teachers who can speak English, who teaches in English, directly in English. So you have easy access to them. So this is very, very lucky. Now the point is that we have to make, so that every day that we should have something, and finally, like somebody who is going through tuberculosis, who is suffering tuberculosis, that's the person should have some medicines to make sure that now this is my final medicine. So this, I have to take a dose of this medicine every day. So meanwhile, along with the dose, then along with medicine, then we also need to think of the healthy food, healthy air, healthy environment. The other factors are there. So the one, this wisdom of emptiness. This is the final remedy. You get a glimpse of this, not only you, me, including us, all of us, we just get a glimpse of this and we see that, wow, this is the final answer to all my miseries, right? Miseries. Okay, miseries, there are so many kinds, and say we all have our own stories of the miseries. But you get a glimpse of this experience, you apply this to the mental state within you, pertaining to the very specific miseries. You see that instantly you could feel that the misery, that very state, the misery drops. You could feel the feeling of lightness there, and you will be taken to a very different domain of the peace of mind, right? But it doesn't mean that you get a glimpse and then your misery comes to an end. This is a no. Why? Right from the beginning, we learned 3 levels of wisdom. Wisdom derived through learning, wisdom derived through reflection, and wisdom derived through meditation 3. So particularly with the second, you will gain a conviction. You will gain a conviction that, yes, this is it. This is the final thing. Empirically, experientially, I could feel that if I can intensify this experience, my misery is 100% will come to an end. You get that conviction, that much conviction. Okay, so there, with this, then our job is to habituate. Once you get the medicine, this is the medicine, right? Then your job is to take the medicine, the dose of this medicine every day. Take the dose of the medicine every day, right? Okay, so this is so precious. 1. Number two, unconditional love, the practice of unconditional love towards others. practice of unconditional love. This is so beautiful mind. It's an amazingly precious mind, so beautiful mind. Practice of unconditional love towards others. Okay, so say what we want is, we want to be free from suffering, one. What we want is, we want the maximum happiness, two. You're getting it? Suffering means, suffering is in the, when the suffering is there, there's a fear there. The fear that I may have the suffering, I may have the suffering for long, the fear is there. Suffering is nothing but a manifestation of fear. So the fear, what can create, what we want is, we want the fearlessness. We want to make the fear zero. Fear of life is zero. What we want is, we want the happiness, maximum happiness. If you are sure, that this is my agenda of life, if you're sure that this is the agenda of my life, whether I'm born in a Buddhist family, Hindu family, Muslim family, Jain family, atheist family, scientist family, non-believer family, it doesn't matter. If you come to realize that no matter where I'm born, my agenda of life is that my fear should go to zero and my happiness should go to 100%. If this is your, if this is what you come to conclusion, that this is the agenda of my life. So the fearlessness, the mind, the fear is a mental state. Fearlessness is a mental state. Happiness is a mental state. Pain, lack of happiness is a mental state. Right? Now, the fear is a mental state. To counteract this, we need to have the mind of fearlessness. And in this universe, the mind which is the most fearless in nature, which can give the greatest fearlessness within us, this is the wisdom of emptiness. So the wisdom of emptiness will give us the greatest of the fearlessness, one. Then we want happiness. We want joy. The joy and happiness, what has the capacity to give rise to the maximum joy, maximum happiness, is not the wisdom of emptiness. It is the bodhicitta, this beautiful mind of bodhicitta, unconditional love of bodhicitta. This is the one which gives us the greatest of the happiness. For example, say, this is very important for us to know, say, this is a group of, say, the PhD physics students, thousands of PhD physics students there, and then there's somebody is to give a lecture to these PhD physics students, and amongst the students, some may not be as sharp, some are going to be very sharp, and who are going to be future Nobel laureate in physics. Keep this in mind. So if you have to give a lecture to them, right, you should keep in mind that amongst them, they are future Nobel laureates in physics. So imagine you are someone who is a mediocre in physics, mediocre, the physics professor. You are not the top ranker, you are just a mediocre. And tell me, if there are thousands of PhD students in physics there, and you have to give the lecture, what will be your mental state? Fear or confidence? Tell me. Fear. Why fear?
You don't know anything.
Yes, because we feel that I'm going to be embarrassed by the people with their very brilliant questions. Why? Because your knowledge, you're not really confident in your knowledge. You're getting it? Now imagine, Albert Einstein comes to give the talk. Do you think that he'll be scared of the people there? No, these are all my students. Right? The world of physics is my student. Right? He has this confidence. He's totally fearless. Why? How come that he is fearless? Because of the knowledge. The most refined wisdom. So the wisdom gives you the fearlessness. Particularly the wisdom of emptiness. This is amazing. It gives a total fearlessness. the wisdom of emptiness. This gives the fearlessness. But even though you have a tremendous great wisdom, do you think that this person is going to be the happiest person? Albert Einstein, he was very special, no doubt. But there are some brilliant physicists, logicians and so forth, but essentially very unhappy person. Can you imagine such people? They are in the history of humanity. They were and they are in the history of humanity, right? So why? They don't have this fear, but they are very unhappy people. So there's no joy there. Joy in these people. They don't have this joy. So what can bring joy is the feeling of love and affection towards others. And particularly this incredible, beautiful mind of bodhicitta. This has the capacity to give rise to the maximum joy in us. It's amazingly beautiful mind. Amazing. So therefore, if there is one mind which is most fearless in this universe, it is the wisdom of emptiness. If there is one mind which is most beautiful in this world, it is the mind of the bodhicitta. Right? So imagine if you are someone who's endowed, who's enriched with both of them, the wisdom of emptiness in its heightened state and the bodhicitta in its heightened state. What kind of person you're going to be like? You're going to be the happiest, you're going to be the most perfect person in this universe, right? Okay, so therefore, so while we talk so much about the emptiness, meanwhile don't neglect the practice of bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is so precious. And bodhicitta, I'm saying this once more here, this practice, unconditional love towards others, this unconditional love towards others, this practice, this bodhicitta experience, simply by, say, in the mornings you say, okay, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, until I become, what is that? Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, and other practice of generosity by the power of giving, what is that? Huh? By the accumulation of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of sentient. This is known as bodhicitta. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. Bodhicitta. But you say this just 3 times in a day, right? This will not give rise to the experience of bodhicitta, right? Okay, this is very precious. Even to say this is so precious. But actual experience of bodhicitta, if you want to experience it, just by reciting these 3 lines, and then you lead whatever life you have, go through. It will not give rise to bodhicitta. So bodhicitta is something that we have to practice. And there are two very popular methods by which to cultivate the bodhicitta. 2 methods are there. One, the 7-fold cause-effect method to generate bodhicitta. 7-fold cause-effect method to generate bodhicitta. And the other one is method of equalizing and exchanging self for others, which has 9 steps. The first one has 7 plus 1. Second one has 9 steps. Right? So we have to follow through these steps. Only when you follow these steps, then you will come to feel that, oh yes, now bodhicitta is making sense in me. Right? Bodhicitta is making sense in me. And then say anger and these things, once in a while it can come, it's fine. It doesn't mean that you practice bodhicitta, this becomes the main part of your practice, and then you go to the public, you become like a Buddha. No, don't expect that. No? Once in a while anger can arise because of the situations, but deep inside you will not have anger. Somebody who wholeheartedly practices bodhicitta with these 2 methods, deep inside the person will never be angry towards anyone. And the person, deep inside the person is very confident and very peaceful and very happy. Superficially, a little bit of anger coming here. Not only anger, sometimes they even can pretend as though like they are angry, although they are not angry. Because if they don't pretend as though that they are angry, then you think that he is not angry, he is so kind, and then they will abuse you. So some of them, out of skillfulness, they can pretend as though like they are very angry. Deep inside they are not angry, they are not at all angry, they are so loving, caring, right? So this is something which will happen to us only if we practice. And yet, the real treasure of us, we all can have, is to cultivate bodhicitta and cultivate the wisdom of emptiness. So these two things is so precious, so precious. Okay, there's a little bit of digression which is so precious. Okay, now what I'd like to go through is this emptiness. This emptiness part. The point is that don't just imagine the 3 days, the 3 days that we had. This is all. Don't think that. So all the teachers coming to the center, Venerable and Geshe Damdul, and the teachers they're coming, right? Make the maximum use of them, and then try to learn as much as possible. And meanwhile, design your own daily practice. Design your own daily practice, right? Design your own daily practice. Like say, depending on how much time you have, like 10 minutes a day in the morning and evening 10 minutes a day. And then if you have a little more time, like half an hour a day, half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening. And then if you still have more time, really you have a couple of time, then like 1 hour. And then initially, don't do too much. Don't be over enthusiastic. This is very dangerous. Don't be over enthusiastic, right? Just go for something small. Start small, then keep expanding. Keep expanding. Okay, this is what we're going to keep in mind. So with this in mind, say the emptiness part. Emptiness part. Whatever we're going to learn here, this session, and after a short break, then another short session. Whatever we're going to learn there, see if you can practice it. Just recollect it. Retreat this, like 2 minutes or 1 minute a day. Can we do that? 1 minute a day. If 1 minute too long, then half a minute a day. Is it possible? Of course, right? This is not for me. This is not for the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. This is for our own solving the problems, right? This is so precious. Okay. How we go about doing this? How we go about doing this is, let's say, yesterday we were talking about dreams. Let's say you dream of being in Delhi. At the moment, where are you? In Bangalore, not in Delhi. Okay, while you're in Bangalore, you dream of being in Delhi. And you dream of being in National Museum. Why I'm saying National Museum?
Relics of the Buddha.
Because in National Museum there's a Buddha's relics. You dream of coming to Tibet House. Okay, so whenever I was in Choe or something, he would always say, Tibet House is there, come. Okay, now I'm in Delhi, I'll go to see him. Right? And you, in the dream, you met me. Then I would say that, hey, in Delhi there's one place which is so precious, which is so holy, which is so precious, right? There are so many places, but one is National Museum. There's a Buddha's relics there. And then you say, okay, I'll go there. You go there, right? Then Delhi traffic, so many cars, and then they honk you, they see that your car, and the cars behind you, they know that before your car there are so many cars there. Still they honk. I don't know why they're honking. They know that there are so many cars behind you cannot really fly. Still they honk. I don't know why they're honking. Why? For entertainment. Okay. So imagine in the dream this is all what is happening. Right? This is all what is happening. Tell me, in this dream, imagine that you actually dreamed that. After waking up, tell me, what did you dream? Just raise your hands. Someone, very quick.
Going
Okay, quick.
to the national.
Yes, did you? Being stuck in a car, meant to go to National Museum Then you hear the sounds, literally you hear the sounds, and you can see the car numbers, right? DL1, Y003, you see all these details, and some of the cars, den with the den, you see such enormous millions and trillions of details. Are you seeing the details around? Look at things around. Hey, look at things around. And you go to your hand, you look at a palm. Do you see the details, the lines? You see the lines? Right? And then you look up, you see the beautiful mandala here, very simple mandala here. Then you, next to that, the black background. And then the white things are there, the details are seen there. How many details are there? The millions and trillions. This is exactly what happened to you in the dream also. Right? In the dream also, you saw the same detail. You wake up. What you dreamt, what happened to what you dreamt? They all disappear, right? If they all disappear, why did they disappear? Because they were all created by your mind, and now your mind came back from the dream to the waking state. So everything is drawn, disappear. You're getting it? Okay, now tell me, all those things in the dream, all those things you saw them as you dream, or you saw them as real? As real. When did you come to realize that they are not real, they are coming from your mind? When did you come to realize that? When you wake up. You're getting it? Okay. Say, in the dream, you saw them as real. Okay, let's see. Okay, what is in my right hand? A flower. What flower? Which? Orange flower. What is my left hand? Hey. Nothing is there. Imagine a blue flower. Imagine a blue flower. Right? Okay, what is my right hand? Orange flower. What is my left hand? Blue flower. Huh? Okay, then what is my left hand? It's a blue flower. Wow, it's amazing. Huh? In my left hand, there's a blue flower, or nothing, or an imaginary blue flower. If you say nothing, you have not been imagining. You have not been listening to me. I asked you to imagine a blue flower. Okay, what is my left hand? Imaginary blue flower. What is my right hand? Orange flower. Okay, very good. Tell me, what's the difference between the two? Reasons. Here. Yes, gentlemen, here. Yes. Tell me, what's the difference?
Real or unreal?
This is real and this is not real. Very good. Anyone else you like to add something, or the same concept you want to put in different words? Yes, here.
The blue flower is in our mind.
Not the blue flower, imaginary blue flower.
Blue flower is in our
is the mind.
And this is real.
Is it real? Okay, yes, here.
The orange flower has a form, and that has no form.
Okay, the orange flower has a form, that the imaginary blue flower does not have a form. Shweta?
Yeah, I think we can all agree about different details of the orange flower, more or less the same, but of the blue flower, on the blue color probably will be the same. Other details are all different.
Because it's imaginary.
Shweta, say it again.
Yes. So we can all agree about different details of the orange flower.
Okay, the details of the orange flower, we can all agree.
Yes.
The details of the
Blue flower.
imaginary blue flower, people can differ.
Yes.
Yeah. One over there, very good.
So I was saying the reference to the blue flower for each one of us is different.
Say it again.
The reference for the imaginary blue flower is different for each of us.
Wow, it's very philosophical. Reference of the imaginary blue flower is different to different people. Reference of the orange flower is the same to all the people. Wow. Amazing. Anyone else?
One is perceived by the eye and the other
One is perceived by the eyes and one is perceived by the mental consciousness. Oh, very good. Anyone else?
Occupied space.
Okay, okay, now you're going to expand more and more. Very good. Okay, the orange one occupies space and blue one does not occupy space. Okay, good. Okay. Yes, Raviji?
One is in your hand, the other one is not there.
Okay. Oh, imaginary. I asked you what is in my left hand, and you said imaginary blue flower. What you said is that imaginary blue flower which is in your hand is not in your hand. This is contradictory. My question is, what is in my left hand? You said imaginary blue flower. So, by the very answer that you have given, you are saying that the imaginary blue flower is in my hand. Right? Okay, anyway, it is not substantially in my hand. It does not have a substance there.
Sometimes.
Okay, yes, maybe the last one, yes.
Yeah, so you imagine a blue color flower, but sometimes our ego will say, hey, there is nothing.
Okay, so our mind can easily change whether it is the imagined blue flower there, not there, but this flower we cannot change it just simply by thinking. Very good, okay. So the point that I'm saying is, you all got answer. Answers are so perfect, very good. Let me try to put it in a summary. Let's say, this is the flower which I'm seeing, this is my object. Now what's the subject? My eye consciousness seeing the flower. You getting it? The subject and the object, there's interplay. Right? Okay. Now this imagined blue flower is the object, and my mind thinking about the imagined blue flower is the subject. Right? Okay. Now, so this orange flower, as your name?
Rashmi.
And Rashmi, as Rashmi said, this orange flower is not coming from your mind. It's coming from the mind is the subject. So if it is not coming from the subject, then it's coming from the object. You're getting it? So this orange flower, it comes from the object. This is known as, technical term is, it has objective existence. You're getting it? This orange flower exists objectively, or you can say it has objective existence. It exists objectively. Now the imaginary blue flower, what Rashmi said is that it is coming from the mind, which means it is, what's the mind of your subject? Subject. So this imaginary blue flower exists subjectively. You're getting it? It exists subjectively. When you say it exists subjectively, objectively, you say that imaginary blue flower exists subjectively, which means objectively it is non-existent. It is empty. You're getting it? Okay, don't forget this. Don't forget this. Now, the dream. Okay, tell me. This now the difference which we have summarized now. What is the difference between the orange flower in my right hand and the imaginary blue flower in my left hand? Orange flower in my right hand exists objectively, and the blue flower, imaginary blue flower in my left hand exists subjectively. That is in a loose sense. In a loose sense. Now, if you study very precisely, we'll come to know that everything exists subjectively. Nothing exists objectively. This is what we're going to know, what we're going to learn. But for the time being, in a loose sense, as part of the introduction to this, we see that this orange flower exists objectively. It has objective existence, and the blue flower exists, the imagined blue flower exists subjectively, or it is subjectively existent. You're getting it? For the time being, let's say, in a loose sense. Now, tell me, in the world of the dream, when you were in the world of the dream, when you were dreaming, you are not in the world of the reality, you are in the world of the dream. And you thought that you were in the world of the reality, yes, no?
Yes.
Okay, when you wake up, what you thought as the world of reality, which was actually like a dream, they all exist subjectively or objectively?
Subjectively.
How?
Because it's there in our mind, it's not...
Exactly. So when I say how, I saw like a little apprehension, right? This is to test your say, what? Your confidence, right? Don't trust my face. Okay, so tell me, the world of the dream which you had, when you wake up, the world of the dream, everything that you encountered in the dream, they exist objectively or subjectively? Subjectively. How? How? Because it's a dream, because it's coming from the mind. Mind is the subject, it's all coming from the subject. Okay, very good. Very good. Now tell me, how many of you have watched movie in a movie theater? Okay, those good ones who did not raise your hands? Who did not go to watch movies? Oh, every one of us, all of us. Okay. Let's say, when you watch movie, say this is a screen on which the movie is screened. This movie comes from where? Projector. Where's the projector? Hey, put it in your mind. Wow. Hey, you are not philosopher. Just imagine that you were that naughty boy or naughty girl in that movie theater, right? Okay, let's say, if I ask you, where is the projector? What is your answer? Behind you, right? Where is the movie? In front of you. Don't forget it, right? Okay. So the movie is on the screen. You agree with me or not?
Yes.
Okay. Where the screen is, where the movie projector is, these two are in the opposite directions, right? Okay. Now tell me, where is the movie? It's on the screen. And the movie is coming from where? Yes. The movie exists on the screen, but it doesn't exist from the screen. It doesn't exist from the screen. It exists from the projector. You're getting it? Now, if the movie lasts for how many hours? 3 hours. Let's say 3 hours. If the movie lasts for 3 hours, for 3 hours the projector is busy. You agree with me or not?
Yes.
If the projector stops for 10 seconds, for 10 seconds the movie will be absent. You agree with me? So in order for us to have a free flow of the movie, continuous flow of the movie happening in the air, the projector must continuously, even this is the sound, right? It must project continuously, endlessly. It should project the movie. Otherwise, you will not enjoy this. Okay, now tell me, what are you enjoying? Where are you looking for the movie? On the screen or on the projector?
Screen.
Actually, where is it coming from? Projector. From behind you, right? Likewise, all phenomena that we encounter with, they're all like watching. They're all like movies that we are watching, projected by the projector of your own mind. Our mind is a projector, and that is one which is projecting all phenomena, right? And then just as a movie projector, it never stops for 3 hours continuously. Our mind never stopped projecting things since time immemorial till today, and will continue till you become Buddha, till you achieve Buddhahood. It will continue projecting, right? This is a fact. This is a fact. You getting it? Okay. Even when sleeping, even in a dream is the worst case, right? So what we are projecting now, when the waking state, what we are projecting, one that we project in the dreams. The difference between the two is the one that we are projecting during the waking state, there is a proper cause effect. Proper cause effect when projected. In the dreams, we project it just haphazardly, right? Say, sometimes there is one question which always bothered me when I was in in the monastery. The question was, what I'm seeing, is this the real or this is a dream? I'm not talking about philosophy. Is this real or is this dream? In other words, is it a waking state or is it a dream? I cannot make the distinction. I could find no justification to see that what I'm experiencing now is not a dream, right? So now, oftentimes, how I check that, I say the same thing in the dream also. I say the same thing in the dream. That in the dream, you think that this is real, and someone says, this is not real, this is dream show or something. You will say, no, we are in a real show or something. You getting it? Only when you wake up, you realize that this is not true. I check whether it's a dream or real, right? How I check is that I cannot say that this is real, but I can sometimes I can say this is dream. How can I say this? is that I'm showing you, I'm sharing my thoughts, and then say in the sharing, then I show a flower to you, and suddenly this flower becomes a glass. Suddenly this flower becomes a glass. Then I will say 100% I am dreaming. Because in reality, this flower suddenly cannot become glass. When it becomes glass, it does happen in the dreams. So in the dreams, there's a cause alteration of the cause effect. Cause effect is altered. It is not properly followed. Whereas in the waking state, when we project, a projection in the waking state, that follows the proper cause effect relationship. In the dream, what we project, it does not follow the cause effect relation. This is the difference. You getting it? Okay, tea break.